This week on the Push Pull Legs podcast, we give out some Instagram follows for some great accounts that we like. And we talk about females. You've got the hard end of the bargain. We talk about nutrition and strength gains. Three, two, one. Doesn't daylight saving suck?
Hey guys, welcome to the Push Pull Legs podcast with myself, Damik.
And me, Tom Hall. What's going on, buddy?
It does, doesn't it? The darkness is a bit shit. I don't like it. I'm luckily don't like suffer with SAD or anything like that. But it is a bit shit when you look at it. Oh, okay. I used to remember when I did my master's degree, the office for the postgrads had no windows. And I remember those days we used to turn up and it was dark when you got there and it was dark when you left. And it was those were like, oh my God, like this isn't good. They were never fun.
That's not cool. Yeah, that's like a whole day without sunlight. It's not. I've experienced that in the north of the world, but yeah, not fun. Not fun. I've missed daylight. I've slept through daylight when I was in Scandinavia. Yeah,
that's cool.
It's not cool. It's fucking depressing.
Yeah,
I was like, when's the daylight?
When we were in,
I missed the time. Okay.
When I went to see Mike, I'm out in Dubai. The hours stay the same because it's so close to the equator. It's just the same all the time. So they don't have any of that. It's like exactly what time it's going to get dark.
Honduras, it's like within 30 minutes to an hour, it changes, and that's it.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. It's much better that way. At least you know where you stand.
Incredibly predictable, yeah. Whereas we're like, when's the sun go down? Oh, right. Are we randomly putting it back an hour today? Are we? All right, wonderful. All right. So why is that? Farmers? What? No. Apparently that's a myth. I read like, I don't know whether it's still a myth. Like the farmers, like that was what we were always told. But the guy who invented it, it was to do with like astrology or something. Or astronomy.
It can't be to do with farmers because you only get the same amount of sunlight.
You get the same amount of sunlight, so you just wake up.
Farmers are smart enough to go, we'll just wake up in time for the sun. Do you know what I mean? Like it's not about. Surely that's just a myth. Like that whole thing.
So strange, right? Where is it? Yeah, because Ben Bruno did a post about it the other day, and he was like, "Here we go, George Hudson." An etymologist from New Zealand came up with a modern concept of daylight saving. He proposed a 2-hour time shift, so he'd have more after work hours of sunshine. Oh, there we go. An etymologist. It wasn't to do with space. To go bug hunting in the summer.
There you go. You see, there you go. All because of some bugs. That's all he wanted to do was go bug hunting.
He wanted to go bug hunting after work, and then
I'm sure that I saw in a paper. It must have been. Not really recently, but years gone by, that they proposed getting rid of it and stopping it altogether because they were like, it doesn't benefit us anymore in any way. No, it doesn't. It's just annoying.
No. All the bugs, they're going to be there no matter what. Like,
well, yeah, they're all in Downing Street, so it's fine. Daylight savings.
I think we should just start a random rumor like of how it came about. Try and get that going circulating around the fitness industry. Something to do with Joel Seedman, I think.
Yeah. Clock stops on EU plan to scrap daylight savings. Yeah, it was in 2018. There was a plan to sort of do away with it, but apparently it's no longer going to happen.
Because what would you do? You'd just abolish it at at which point?
Well, it's moved in the summer, isn't it? So it would be the same like in the winter.
Yeah,
it's because it's daylight saving, isn't it? For the summer, it's British summertime that they do it for.
That's when it goes forward, but we put it back, don't we? But which one's correct? Would we not meet halfway?
Yeah. But then you're going to have like half an hour, aren't you? And it's going to be 7, but it's going to be 7:30. So bit weird. I just find it such an odd concept. I just think it's so odd.
I think you stick with it so you get more daylight in the evening always. Yes. So you always have, that's what I would want, like for us anyway.
Yeah,
I feel like that. I feel like it's a
that's,
very biased view because obviously if you're south of the equator, it's the other way around.
yeah.
So you can't be like, oh, would it? But maybe they don't do it. I don't know. It's super confusing. Anyway, we
So yeah,
digress.
in Dubai, basically, it's in the winter, it is at 6 o'clock when the sun goes down, and in July, at the height of summer, it is 7. So you go an hour difference. Yeah, it's mad, isn't
Basically,
it?
the only reason why I'm get concerned about it is because I get less time to play golf. The window is a lot
Yeah,
shorter, and then there's obviously in Dubai you got night golf, but I'm assuming that's premium cost for all the floodlights and stuff. But yeah, you get a longer window in the summer, so obviously that's more fun. Yeah, mate. Well, apologies to everyone. We didn't do an episode last week, so obviously
oh,
I know life got in the way. So I actually couldn't do the regular slot on Tuesday. Then I did give Daniel Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, but I'll let him off because he's actually got quite a lot of stuff going on right now. Not work wise, just a lot of stuff, right?
life admin, mate.
Life stuff.
Fucking hell.
So yeah, so obviously there'll be some changes going on in your world, which is lovely. There'll be it basically gives me another holiday destination, so which is lovely. But yeah, apologies for that, guys.
Yeah, it just ran away with us, and then we were like, "Oh, it was like Saturday morning."
It was Saturday, wasn't it? We were like, we should
like,
do, because I wanted to do one just to get like, obviously, we'll talk a little bit about the fitr stuff that obviously I think I've definitely chatted about for the last couple of weeks anyway. That I kind of like, I'll do it, and I was like, fuck it, I'm just gonna do it. And it just took me a week to build it up and then go into it. But yeah, it was. Then we were like, oh, I ended up working all Saturday anyway, just getting some stuff done. But yeah, shit happens. Unfortunately, we just got to keep on track for our 50 episodes for the year. I know last year, because obviously COVID, we managed to bust out a couple of weeks sometimes, and we were doing.
Well, we were ahead of the game then, aren't we?
We were ahead of it, but that was last year, COVID. So I think we still hit the nail on the head and had a couple of weeks off at the end of the year because we were like, we've done our 50. So we've got to keep that going, mate. I think it's 5 or 6 years, isn't it? So
that's it. Well, there we go. It's all changing, isn't it? It's got to be. Well, I'm gonna have to have a week. So I move last week in November. I move that Tuesday. To be fair, I don't think I'll be able to do it because my computer will be packed away. I'll have my laptop. No, I'll have my laptop. My good microphone might be packed away. We might have to just do it with normal headphones. But let me just double check. Yeah, no, I should still be able to do it that day.
We could go rogue and do 2 in a week.
No, I think we could
two
do
in a day.
Right.
But I think that's our limit, isn't it? We're like, no, we're not doing that. We can't talk to each other for an extended amount of time about fitness, unfortunately.
Too much, too long, baby.
Yeah, like, but yeah, super fun stuff. So I think today we will spend a little bit of time right now just saying thank you to anybody who's signed up. Thank you. You're getting it for free, just because I want to see what's going on with this app. And it doesn't seem right to charge people for something for me to trial. I probably could, 100% could. But yeah, I thought, you know what? Let's give back. This is my charitable donation to the affluent people who have Instagram and phones. So
too kind, mate. Too kind.
Too kind, right? So yeah, I think so. On fitr, what I will do for the lovely Push Pull Legs listeners is probably over like either the Black Friday period or the Christmas period, I will have a special PPL code that will give money off, probably always, I reckon. Or not always. I'm not that charitable. We've got to have real prices every now and again. I'm not DFS, no.
You're not, mate.
Kind of constant sales. Sale must end. Yeah, they've been on sale ever since I've been alive. It's interesting. I've had like 43 people on it already, which is lovely.
Mate, that's quality.
It's good from the fact that I have not done anything about it. So it'll be interesting to see how this works. Obviously, you guys do your blitz stuff. It'll be interesting to see whether I run it similar to that or with a training protocol. But probably, I think I'm going to do variations of like 4 weeks, 6 weeks, 8 weeks where I don't have to do anything. And then we can build a little community of actually me programming everybody all at once. So yeah, that's it. And we'll just have several different goals, I think, and iterations of. So
yeah. No, it looks good, mate. I think I've seen like all the clips you posted. Look good. It looks like solid stuff. Like good to see people got the question right. You did the little question box, didn't you? Why did you do 2 rounds? And
correct.
it's because
you
had to do like 8 sets in a fucking round or something. 4 exercises each side.
Because I wanted to see whether they'd probably you'd look at that and be like, oh, I'm only doing 2 rounds of a circuit.
I mean, that takes about 5 minutes. That round.
Yeah, correct. Yeah. That's the point, right? So it was just seeing whether people are like. To be fair, though, the couple of people that answered me back there are PT core students, and they were like, "Yeah, I only know that from PT core." And I was like, "Oh, interesting. That's good."
Yeah. See, I didn't see how I didn't troll Tom on any of his stuff, but then he trolled me on my hips on my.
Oh yeah, mate,
rows. He had a fucking right go at me about that. He got really emotional about it. You could see it in the message he sent me.
Sorry, like
fucking hell, mate. I was like, I was comfortable. I felt fine. Like,
I like stuff done better. Yeah, but you weren't optimal.
I wasn't optimal. But when am I ever optimal, Tom? It's me. Come on, mate. Fucking no, I don't do things optimally. Jesus Christ. But yeah, no, I've started. I had a week off training, and then it's just sort of been quite hard to get back into the swing of things. And I think with the move in 3 weeks, my head's elsewhere, and I'm not one of those people. You know how some people say like, oh, they train to like get their headspace. Doesn't do that for me at all. It's another thing for me to fucking worry about training. It's not my place to go to for like my me time and shit like that. It's not that at all. It feels like work. So like I was like, fucking, I might get back into this and do some stuff. And yeah, just going back to the basic, probably similar to like you said, your plans that you've written out. You know, it's just that basic full body unilateral stuff, getting strong, moving well. 4 exercises, 5 exercises, done. Like just ticking over for a month until I get out there and can change it up then a little bit. But I just can't get my head into the whole like conditioning stuff. I'm just not there. I'm just not in that headspace to be like fucking give it everything I've got. I'm like, nah. Get in, move 45 minutes, get out, done. It's kind of that headspace at the moment with it. But yeah, Tom had a right go at me. I just went in there just to do some movement, and I got critiqued by an expert, and just fucking, never mind.
I just want his hips a little bit wider, right? It's just an annoyance. There's certain things that bug me on certain exercises, obviously, and that was one of them. When you don't give your, because obviously I say like I want to like have the dumbbell just slot into your hip. So I like that to slot in, and there was no slotting in. There's no crevice into your like adductor there. And obviously you're in a less stable position. So you're either Dan is thinking on a different level where he's gone, no, Tom, I actually wanted like a lumbopelvic hip complex kind of challenge. So therefore I am doing it this narrow. Or I'm like, actually, Dan likes just probably training his back. So the chances are he probably just wants his legs a little bit wider. I don't know.
I watched Joel Seaman do it that way, so that's why I do it.
No, you weren't on one leg.
Yeah, with a band around me, pulling me up. Yeah,
and you pulled it far too far. You would have put it like halfway. So yeah,
that's it.
Yeah, God, don't do that, Jesus. But if anybody wants to sign up, you've got, obviously this episode comes out Wednesday morning. You've got 2 days more. It's going to be for free. To sign up. I think you can pick your start date, to be fair. I'm not smart enough on this to be like, no, you have to start it this week. I think you can start it like in December if you really want to.
Maybe I should sign up and get started in December.
Yeah. So it's like, it's 8 weeks. You can pick between one or the other. Check my Instagram. I can say it on here if you're listening. Fair enough. All capitals, FREECOACH. I don't know why I said that. I was just like, I'm coach and it's for free. So that's your coupon code to get everything off. So you can have a little trial, see if you like it. And then shockingly, I will charge for the facility in the future. So not just doing it out of the kindness of my heart, but I always will, for guarantee, there will always be a free program on there. Always. I will always put like a better health program on there because I think everybody should just learn how to program properly, to be honest. And it'll be just like a 3-day-a-week thing. It'll be nice and balanced, and that'll be for free. It's not going to cost me anything because it should be fucking out there. Science. So just to get people invested, a nice 4-week little plan. Just in case you're like, oh, I'm getting back into the swing of things, like Daniel might be. I'll just put essentially a general adult phase 1 program that I would do. and that'll be on there. So lovely. You can push as hard or as little as you want. But it will be interesting because obviously I've separated these into Better Health, which is 3 days a week, and then Everyday Athlete. The Better Health one is 2 mesos of 4 week and 4 week blocks, but the other one is actually a 3 week block into a 5 week block for the Everyday Athlete thing. So it'd be interesting to see how people acclimatize that. And a Better Health one is very Boyle-esque, but the other one is incredibly Exos. It's quite like that for the first 3 weeks, and then it's more of a introduction to contrast training, Daniel, and complex training. Lovely. So if you want to get nice and athletic, do that one. Should be fun. Lovely. Yeah. So full body, unfortunately, you have to train your legs every single fucking time you set foot in the gym, because they're massive bits of your body. So you might as well. Quite rightly so. Stop fucking around doing other stuff. Yeah, mate. So it should be fun. And yeah, I should chat. Obviously, it's fitr is the app. And then please give me feedback on how you think the app is. Okay, because fortunately, they've already reached out to me because they thought it was interesting that I managed to get a fair few people sign up in one day. And I'm going to have a little chat to their CEO to see what we can do to make it good. So
there you go. Your chance to shape the future of an app.
It'll just be, whoa. I mean, amazing. The PTC got an app as well, by the way. If you haven't downloaded that, Jesus, download it. If you're a student, that is. It's not just for randomers.
No, no point me getting it there.
You can go on it if you really want to. So yeah, lovely. And also, if you're on the fitr app, please tell me whether you prefer my videos, like the PTC style ones for the demos, any of the YouTube ones that my buddy Steve Biglow does, or the fitr training videos. I'd like to know that. Basically, if you like ours more, guess what? We might be like, fitr, do you want our videos? They're better than yours. They are better. So just putting it out there. They are better filmed. So yeah, obviously, because we've got a lovely course. Future proof, didn't they, Dan? 4K. Lovely.
All about that 4K life.
All about the 4K life. Right, Daniel. I have. Oh, you got a protein bar. I don't have one.
I've got one protein bar left. One protein bar left. It's Lexi's plant-based protein. It's like a crispy cereal bar type.
Lexi.
One. It's got 10 grams of protein and it's 150 calories. So again, could be better. More of like one of these like snacky soy crispy. I think this is going to be all right. But again, the protein's going to let it down. It's 10 grams, 150 calories.
Fair enough. So the reason I don't have anything today is I haven't bought any. But I do have a big package of goodies and snacks from around the world instead. But it is my apartment and I'm not there right now.
Yeah.
So that will be my go-to for the next coming weeks. Probably
it tastes like a tracker bar. Remember tracker bars?
I do remember tracker bars. They were frequently in my parents' like pantry.
It's like that. It's actually decent. It's got 10 grams of protein. You can't really tell.
You can't tell it's got protein?
No.
It's bad or?
No. It's like, I can eat them all day long. Right, easy. Good, to be fair. But not a protein bar, is it?
But not a protein bar. You got to have just the yeah. How many calories was it?
150.
150. So it's not overly crazy on the calorie front.
Vegan. It's vegan. 150 calories.
If you were to protein match to 20 calories and eat 2 of those for 300 calories, is that worth it?
No.
There you go.
Well, I'm going to finish it. So
you're going to finish. That's always a good sign. If we finish a bar, then it's all right. It's
loads better than those like proteiny flapjack ones. They're always the same. They're always like 15 grams of protein for 250 calories. That's fucking pointless. But they're always dry and horrible. This is just like a cereal bar.
Protein flapjacks are always dry. Full stop. They just yeah. Somebody's got to work out how to do those at some point. Don't know how, but yeah, I like flapjacks.
Well, I think the plant-based protein is the best way to go for them.
Yeah.
Those Biscoff Misfits are still incredible. Right. You must be able to do it, but actually, that was good, to be fair. But got 5 grams of fat, 15 grams of carbs, and 10 grams of protein. 7 grams of fiber. Isn't it?
Pretty rounded. Not too bad, but we'll see. We've probably. I think we'll. I don't know. You're leaving, but I might treat myself to a little bit of a protein pantry. So they commented on my little post about because I'm going to be giving away goodies to some social media people. Post all this trial stuff, but unfortunately, I'm not using Protein Pantry. They're not the people who have donated the gift. Yeah, they might. They might donate. You never know. They do follow both myself and Dan, and they look at my stories all the time. So yeah, why the hell are they not?
They did mince pies, haven't they? Mince pie ones recently.
Are they? Ooh.
Yeah. They've got a new limited edition. I assume it is because of they've got gingerbread and mince pie, both out of stock, of course. Always out of stock. Best ones are. Saying that, they've got cherry bacon and birthday cake in stock at the moment. So get on it.
I might do a little purchase this evening. Lovely. All right, Daniel. So I've got a couple of topics I want to talk about. Topics and shout outs. Shout outs? Is that the right thing? Just to like some cool Instagram follows. Let's be nice and positive today. We won't be positive. But for some cool Instagram follows. I found one today called Whiteboard Daily, which was cool. And it does like a little thing of a deadlift there, showing like bar path. It's quite cool. So they've got lots of them for like different exercises, and so there's like they do like quite cool like coaching cues and like interesting things. It's quite nice.
What they
Don't
called?
be a jerk. The first pull. Or
the whiteboard.
Whiteboard _ I mean, it needs to be renamed. A guy called Carl Eagleman. He's a master's degree in kinesiology. That just means physiology in our language, doesn't it? Head of S&C, CF level 2. Book of cues. Yeah. So if you want some coaching cues, and I bang on about external coaching cues and stuff, there's a load of stuff for this. Like punch the sky for a like jerk. It's mainly ollie lifting, but like for the third pull to receiving of the of a clean, click, click, boom, click, click, boom. That's quite cool. I thought that was quite interesting. I quite like that. Yeah. So nice. And then what was there was another one, because I use this as well quite a lot with hips, with laser beams. I say you've got a laser beams on each hip, and I want them to be pointing forwards at all times, because they're going to bounce back into the mirror. And if your lasers turn at any point, they start killing people, and we don't want to kill people. So I want the lasers to bounce back.
Don't say that if the wrong person's in the gym.
As soon as your hips go, they're not square to the mirror, lasers bounce off the mirror and start shooting everybody in the thing. So yeah, that's like, also imagine a flashlight coming up on your head if you want them going up like an escalator kind of thing. Like, flashlight is pointing out your head to the sky. It's got to keep pointing there, otherwise it starts pointing forwards. All those kind of cues. A little bit of just Instagram shout out. I quite enjoyed that.
I like that. I wish I could draw. I like that, do you know, because it's like no one can copy that. Like, that's just his drawings and stuff like that. I like you can tell you obviously there's a lot of Olympic lifting, more CrossFit-y stuff, but no, it looks good. I'm gonna give him a follow, mate. There you go.
My second.
I was about to say I'll go with one as well after you.
Oh, you're gonna go with one. I'm gonna give two out. Yeah.
I've got one to. So this is completely unrelated to fitness, but fuck it, why not? I recently started following Tubes' golf channel. If anyone remembers Soccer AM, Tubes from Soccer AM, fucking brilliant, like hilarious. Anyone in our generation will know that Soccer AM was amazing, and it's now probably shit. Lovejoy and Helen used to Helen Chamberlain used to be all over it. It probably wouldn't be allowed on now, to be fair, the way the things used to say. But anyway, I watched the episode. So basically, Tubes and his brother, basically a golf channel where they basically interview footballers going around a golf course. And they had Jimmy Bullard on, and it was a 3-parter, 2 hours. It was 45, 45, 30 in terms of minutes. And I watched every single minute of it. It's fucking hilarious. You don't even have to like golf. It helps, I think. But it's just to hear the stories of footballers. Like, if you want to know what goes on behind the scenes at football clubs, watch it, because the footballers, and obviously they go into these details and tell you all these stories. The things you hear, honest to God, are brilliant. I can't tell the story about Jimmy Bullard that I know. I probably could actually. Nah.
Were you there when he was at Hull?
I just, as he left, I joined just as he left, but I know the story about why he was frozen out at Hull and how he did his cruciate ligament for the second time. Remember how he had a cruciate ligament injury and then he got it a second time. It happened again. You know what Jimmy Bullard's like. It wasn't because he was being sensible. Let's just put it that way. That he got re-injured, and it was nothing to do with. It wasn't his rehab. It wasn't anything in the gym. He was just being a twat, and he re-injured his ACL, and he was out for another year. And obviously, the people at the club were paying his wages, so that's why he got frozen. They're fuming at him. But anyway, but again, watching this video, you can see why and how he's just a nut job. But yeah, that's a shout out for me. Like I've watched it, and the channel's incredible. Like, it's given me so many ideas for me and Mike when we're back together again, like doing videos. It's just the thing that makes me laugh about YouTube is I think some people are so caught up in providing this like informative content and like, have we got everything we need in there? Again, like a lot of people do on Instagram, this is just pure entertainment, but you can't take your eyes off it. And there's a little bit of like, with the golf element to it, where it's just fun, and people still need that element of fun. And yeah, for me, it's just been a revelation. Like, I'm not even joking when I say that. Like, it's entertaining TV. Like, it's something that you would put on you. And I love the fact it's 45 minutes, because the amount of YouTube videos that are like 12 minutes long, I'm like, oh, fuck, I'm going to have to change it, skip the ad all the time. You know, it's just, you put it on, you sit back on your sofa and you can have it on TV. And it feels like you're watching TV. Like, for the first time in ages watching a YouTube channel, I felt like that. And I wonder if people enjoy that. Like, I wonder if, again, if I was to, me and Mike go back to do YouTube videos again, do people prefer those longer videos? Like, is it something they prefer?
I quite like them, yeah, because I would quite, on, say, like Rick Shields and stuff, when he does a course vlog, I'm like, awesome. I love the course vlogs.
Yeah.
They're like, I prefer those to the short ones, the short, like 15
I think if someone's engaging,
if
if it's engaging and it's something like that you're interested in, like, again, it wouldn't be obviously me and Mike talking about fucking protein for half an hour. It would literally be like a day. It'd be like, again, doing something like that. But I remember watching it and I was like, watching Jimmy Bullard and Tubes going around this course, and it got to like 20 minutes in, they're on like hole 3. And I'm like, and I sat to myself thinking, oh, fucking hell, this is going to take a while, innit? And then that's when I realized there was a part 2 and part 3. And I thought, oh, that's a shame. They're going to like rush through the ending. Yeah. Honest to God, such good entertainment, just pure storytelling, just them telling stories from football. Yeah, so you don't have to be interested in golf. If you are even interested in golf in the slightest, it's brilliant because Tubes plays off about 18, 20. So it's nice to watch someone who's shanking it and not brilliant and all that sort of stuff, like more sort of the level I'm at. And then you've got fucking all the footballers that play off like 5 or 6, like fucking Tom, you know, fucking don't shank anything. Like Jimmy Bullard plays off scratch, you know, he's like pro. And it's good, it's interesting watching it, but it's the stories they tell. Fucking brilliant. Like, brilliant. So yeah, go watch it. That's my recommendation. YouTube channel. Go watch it.
Beautiful. And then here's I think it must be, I didn't repost, I like shared on my stories. He's one of Lane Norton's coaches that works under them, Dr. Joey Munoz. He did that infographic, Daniel. Do you remember seeing that? On the rep ranges?
Yes, rep ranges, yeah.
And I'm like, I don't remember ever seeing a graphic like that, and why anyone has not done it before. Obviously we take the piss out of it, so like rep ranges all the time, right? On how it's like, all right, what is taught and still taught and still believed, from, is it still 1 to 5 or 1 to 6 is strength, 8 to 12 is hypertrophy, and then fucking, I know, 12 to
endurance
billion is endurance. And you're like, what? And then obviously he's just overlapped them, just like they're like, obviously, like, if you're training anything for endurance, you're definitely training hypertrophy, 100%. We know that. There's so much literature out on it. That's insane. The more reps, the more volume, the bigger you're going to be. 100%. You're going to get more. What's the hypertrophy? I can't remember it now. Not myofibrillar, sarcoplasmic. Sarcoplasmic hypertrophy. And then obviously the strength stuff to hypertrophy. Like I write these in the programs. Like I'm like, yeah, I'll be like, so for example, on the second phase of even the better health one, I ask people to stick around the 6 rep range, like, because I know that's a nice, for me, happy medium, like a strong strength thing. But I still say that you're still working strength, even if you're going all the way to 10. Yeah, of course you're working strength. Like, you're still getting stronger. You're getting better at that rep range. You're still stronger at that reps. So there's going to be some kind of carryover. So, and it's interesting that that relationship between like repetitions and muscular adaptation, to me, has never been put in a graphic like that. But obviously, if we think about the repetitions and all that kind of stuff on that spectrum, like we do energy systems with the ATP and the anaerobic, where they all kind of blend in, why don't we do that? I don't understand why isn't that's taught at a level 3 level and a biological level, but why isn't the rep muscular adaptation taught in the same way? Like, we literally see it in the textbook, the overlaps of the energy systems.
The thing that I find so strange about it, like I said, the energy systems overlap, is that generally, if you get better at sprinting, you get better at the short, sharp energy system stuff, your endurance stuff improves in terms of energy systems, but not necessarily the way around. If you were just doing loads of long distance running, you wouldn't necessarily be
more powerful,
better at you wouldn't be. But and I think the same is true with lifting. I think it's like,
I think
if someone was to go, all right, here's a 2 kilo, dumbbell, do 100 curls of it, it's not going to make you any better, in my opinion.
No.
Whereas I think if you were strong, if you just did 3 rep maxes all the fucking time, I would bet you would get better at longer distance running. That'd be my assumption. Again, based on power output per stride, you would get a better time. Whereas the opposite's not true. And this is what I don't understand, is how someone's not looked at energy systems and gone, hang on a minute. Like, if we get really, really good at sprinting short distances and that sort of stuff, the carryover from the high intensity recovery carries over to longer distances. But yet with lifting, they haven't looked at it and gone, oh, actually, look, if we just get really fucking strong. And that's where I think our ethos is definitely the same. Well, obviously we have slight differences, but I much prefer lower rep ranges. I much prefer, if someone said to me, right, you've just done 8, I prefer to do 8, 6s, 5s, that kind of rep range. Yeah. Even for hypertrophy, I would still rather lift a heavier weight for that rep range than try and do 12 reps with a lighter weight. Just prefer it. I feel better for it, feel stronger. It makes me feel better. Anecdotal, purely, but I just prefer it. And that makes me, if I look at a training program and the majority of the exercise are between 10 and 6 rep range, or 10 and 15, I'm doing 10 and 6 every day. I prefer it. More motivating, more likely to get in the gym and push myself than the other one. And that's just our way of doing things. But the reason I think that for me works is that I think it carries over to more aspects of overall health and fitness than doing more reps does. That's my opinion. I think it makes you better at running, makes you better at all the aerobic stuff in general. Again, it's just an observation. There's no real sort of like evidence base to it. It's just from what I feel. I don't practice sprinting, but yeah, I know that I'm quicker now than I ever have been in my life because I'm stronger. Like, it's just a fact. And I know I could run further than I ever could before previously because it's just my body's more resilient and all that sort of stuff. I think people forget that side of things. Like you said, when they just look at the lifting so differently to how they do the energy system stuff. It's weird. It is weird that people don't do that.
I was just like, that's the same spectrum. I've seen that graph before. It's like the ATP bit and the anaerobic lactate bit and then aerobic. And it's like, that's the same thing. Obviously the same premise as what we tried to do in rep ranges, but doesn't exist. But
also as well, the other thing I was going to ask you about, again, in the future, I think it'd be quite interesting to, even with the app or even with the coaching programs that you're going to look to sell, is that I had a chat with someone recently and they said that they were getting a golf specific training program. They were like, oh, I'm taking part in a golf specific training program, right? And I've obviously been going for lessons and they get you all the analysis and all this sort of stuff. And the guy was like, you've got a really quick golf head speed. He's like, it's because you're strong. Like you go to the gym and you work out kind of thing. And the whole point of this program, this guy was talking about was to increase his club head speed, and all this sort of stuff. And I was like, I think people are jumping on this now. And I think it's one of those things where they kind of go, and basically all he's going to do is he's going to get given a very, very good strength training program with a few rotational exercises thrown in for good luck. Do you know what I mean? Like, but the reality is, it's about your transfer of force from the floor through to the golf swing, right? And your ability to have strong hips, strong legs, a strong core. I hate that term, but strong core in general, whether it's creating movement or resisting it, it's acceleration and deceleration. It's all those sorts of things. And I couldn't help, I really wanted to say to the guy, you're just going to do a good strength training program, hopefully with some power elements to it as well, like plyometrics, like you do with the slams and stuff.
Yeah.
And probably a cable rotation, I'm guessing, right? You're probably going to throw that one in there, a wood chop or whatever. And I said, but the bang for your buck of that is coming from the fact that you're going to get better at squatting, at, doing all these other movements. And it was kind of a bit like good training, as we've said with the everyday athlete stuff. You could take that program and call it golf specific, increase your club head speed.
Definitely.
And someone would increase their golf head speed from doing that plan. It's that whole thing of like, good training is just good training. I think where our ethoses have now merged, like from a bit more, maybe for me, more bodybuilding-ish background, and for you more athletics, is that actually the ethos now is just good programming, and most of it revolves around those lower rep ranges, getting strong, training your full body all the time as a whole, as a whole thing that moves, because everything does move, with little elements to it that are going to help you bring up certain body parts because that's where you want to improve for aesthetics or whatever. But it just made me laugh because I was like, I really want to say to the guy, I just think that's just good training, but call it what you want.
Like, a 100% will be something I will do in terms of like different programs that people can sign up for. I will have, you can be a better golfer plan, or like I literally said on my first post I was going to do 3 in the trial, and there was a sports based one, and I was like, am I cutting myself too thin here and going, I'm just going to give you a generalized sports one and be like, because that's what I believe it is.
But that's the thing. but we know, right, that the sports one, literally, you're going to go, right, I'm going to write this plan, and then the last exercise, I'm going to just throw in a cable rotation for the golf, and I'm going to throw in like an RKC plank for the football one. It's like
the only thing because what I will do is I will separate probably more field-based sport, like, so I will have a more football, hockey, I know that kind of rugby oriented like program. That will be, because it will be lower body dominant, hands down. It will have upper body work, but it will not be balanced as a normal program would be. Whereas maybe the golfing one, it won't be. It will be more defined into increasing hip rotation. Not increasing hip rotation. That's just a bad thing to do. It's like, all right, we need to generate more force into extension, really quick hips, all that kind of crap. But it's definitely something, because it's weird. Everybody can apply the 80-20 rule, okay, to loads of stuff, right? Loads and loads of stuff. Like, focus on 80% of what you want, and then 20% is what it's going to be in the future, all that kind of crap. Like on social media, focus 80% on one platform and 20% on another one. Oh, okay, cool. Maybe this is, I always kind of tend to think athletic training is 80% fucking the same, and 20% we probably look at what's happening in the mechanics of your sport, and we try to tailor a few exercises to that. But still, 80% of, let's say I program 3 days a week, I probably program properly, and I care about the loading cycles, all of these, probably 6 per day in terms of exercises, however they're blended. It's 18 per week, 80% of that, I don't know what that is, fucking hell, 15 maybe. So 3 exercises possibly of the week will be golf oriented, like, and then those, but the chops and all that kind of stuff happen then. But there's a lad I follow who's golf orientated S&C, called Ando something, I can't remember off the top of my head. I do like a lot of his stuff. that he tends to see a fair few golfers and stuff like that. But if you really want to do that and you want to get better, look at what Bryson's doing now, and you literally see it. And he's doing sprint repeatability training, like with his golf club. He's hitting stuff 5 times as fucking hard as he can with as much intent. I've talked about intent and effort before and load. Guess what? That golf club, he can swing a lot heavier than that, right? But his intent to fucking move it is fucking massive. He wants to move it as quickly as possible to get as close to like 200-mile-an-hour head speed, whatever. And his effort and exertion. So he's going high in terms of the effort, but his exertion is not actually that high because he's got quite a few reps till he fails on a fucking like golf club. And it's all that kind of stuff. It's velocity-based training that he's doing. And it's an untapped thing, generally speaking, in the general PT world. But yeah, watch this space. I'll probably do that more towards probably the new year, I think. Then I put together the next 2 I want to put together are like a football one, and then probably like an everyday athlete or get better health number 2 kind of thing, the next phase of it. So because people will be like, oh, what do I do next? Number 2. Then you can go back to number 1.
Well, mate, I'll be a guinea pig for your golf one. There you go. Nice and easy.
You can do that. That'll be easy.
The
golf, because it is a lot, like as bad as, I don't know, as weird as it sounds, I tend to train to get better at golf. And I've said that to you before, right? Because that's probably the sport I might play the most or whatever. And maybe every now and again I might have a kickabout and stuff like that, but that's the one I like getting better at. And definitely I've seen my distance has improved and I can hit the ball further. But because I'm training a certain way, all the stupid little jumps and all these kind of absorption of force crap that I do has a place for that. And it has a place for, I like, touch wood, I was injured far more frequently when I was powerlifting, doing other shit. I have not been injured for fucking ages. That's pretty nice. Means I'm always progressing. So that is, but I don't know when I was last injured. It's got to be years, I think.
That,
yeah, it's weird, isn't it? It's weird to say. Definitely pre-COVID.
I think as well, but I also think as well, as you get older as a trainer, you do manage your body a bit better.
Correct, yeah.
Like I know with my hip what I can and can't do. Like I only injured my back or tweaked it again from back squatting. And I knew before then that back squatting doesn't agree my back. And I still was like, oh, I just give it a go and I'll try it. And I just learned my lesson now. From that time, I thought, again, I hadn't done it for about a year. And I was like, oh, so it'll be okay. I've been goblet squatting real heavy. I've been front squatting real heavy. I'll be okay. And it was just like, again, stupid decision after a long drive, as we've discussed previously on the podcast. Yeah. And for me now, I'm just like, I never need to back squat ever again in my life. Fuck it off. I'm not even considering it. It's done. I'm just done. Same with too much pressing. I know that the second I go too heavy on pressing for too long, too many weeks, it starts to just niggle a little bit. Second I go to single arm dumbbell bench press, it feels fine. Not as much of a problem. And all of a sudden I know how to manage that. And I think you just get better. If you're a good trainer, good coach, you get better at managing it rather than trying to work around it all the time and all that sort of shit and going, oh, I must back squat. I never need to back squat ever again in my life, ever. It's fine. So yeah, I think that's part of it as well.
It's like, I still want to pioneer the safe powerlifting championships or something like that with all the neutral grip bars. Basically, safety bar squat, trap bar deadlift, and a Swiss bar like bench press. I'd be like, this is the safe powerlifting. This is for anatomically neutral powerlifting. That's what we want to do, instead of all this crazy pronation that causes injuries.
You're not going to get very far, I don't think, with that.
I don't think. But I would like to pioneer that. Maybe I'll make a plan for it. I'll be like, this is the neutral powerlifting. What's that, Tom? Well, you have to have all these specialist bars before you do anything. That's going to be that's one of the, I think the caveats I'm going to run into is I'm going to have to give variations that is going to be suboptimal because obviously all of my plans will tend to have medicine balls in because they're a fucking great little tool. But there are obviously certain gyms that don't have them, or like Planet Fitness, Oh, I was meant to send you that. We'll review that next week. Write that down somewhere, that we have to review a Planet Fitness thing. Oh, it's so funny. I did save
Planet
it.
Fitness.
I did save it, and I'll show it to you. But we'll do that next week. All right. Last thing for us, Dan, as we're coasting to 45 minutes, but I think we'll spend probably 10 minutes talking about this. Just because I thought it'd be interesting, and it's more for a case of trainers, getting people. As you know, Dan loves talking about the opposite sex, and maybe from a nutrition point of view, and I can talk from a training point of view, but you train females as well. But I don't make females eat. You do. It's a weird way of phrasing that, but very yeah. There was a summit on the UKSCA. I can't believe they have Instagram, to be fair. And it was actually a nice post. They're usually terrible, but it was an interesting little just synopsis, because I have a couple that I train and they're quite competitive, and then the male always goes, "Oh, I can't believe you're only lifting that. Like, you should be like, do you want to try my weight?" Like he's a big shot. And I'm like, "Richard, shut the fuck up." I'm like, "Do you want to know the actual difference?" All right, cool. Neuromuscular function, absolute strength for females against males, 40 to 60% weaker in the upper body than in the average woman. And in the lower body, they are 25 to 30% weaker. So absolutely fine. Those are the ranges you should give yourself.
And also that is, I assume, matched on body weight.
Correct.
So if you've got a guy who's 80 kilos and you've got a female that's 60, that female is going to be 25 to 30% less strong on those low body movements than a 60 kilo bloke, not an 80. So like you said, that partner there is going to give it all that, and he's like, "Yeah, but it might only be 20 kilos less, mate." And you're like, "Actually, you're the one that's weaker." So should we talk about that? You know, but the upper body one is obviously no surprise. I think most females, like, I get a lot. I speak to them a lot about their lower body lifts. They're like, "Oh yeah, I'm seeing progress. Like every couple of weeks, I'm adding 5 kilos. Upper body, I just can't go past this on shoulder press." I'm like, "Yeah, that's because your gym goes from 10 kilos to 12, and you need to add about 0.5 to like for where you're at right now." And I'm trying to explain to them, you're trying to add 20% to that. Like, and you see the blokes doing it and they're adding 5%, and they're also stronger in upper body than you, you know. And it's that whole thing of people get so bogged down. And I've actually started doing a lot more with my female clients now, is asking them what weight they're lifting, for example, on something like lateral raises, right? Or something like that. And I'm like, "Right, you're using that weight for this whole 12-week program, and you're just going to count your reps. And that's the thing you're going to try and improve upon as you go." Same with shoulder press, you know, things like that. Rows are a little bit different, because rows, females can tend to get a little bit heavier, because again, it's the stronger movement. But yeah, that's the thing that I find with that is really trying to help females with that side of things. Because there's that thing in the head of like, "I'm not very good. I'm not strong. I'm not." It's like, no, it's just, don't panic. No, it's that as a percentage, you're not going to be able to jump up in a dumbbell. Like, it's not going to happen. You have to do the reps, you know, from that point of view. I think it's really common for females to get bogged down about their upper body being weaker than their legs. They see progression in their legs fine. And whereas blokes, I'd imagine, from what I can tell, it's fairly even. It's fairly even. Like, blokes hate training their legs usually anyway. But yeah, it's fairly even.
It's so weird because like everybody, like, I don't know, everybody, like, now I teach more like lower level trainers in terms of qualifying them and then make them better, right? But I'm always like, I train my legs every fucking time. Like, I find legs way more enjoyable than training upper body.
I think what it is, though, I think it's that whole thing of the bodybuilder thing of people who think they need to train legs. It's that burning feeling, that horrible kind of like lactic acid buildup. And yeah, I don't like that either. I don't like going on leg press and doing 100 reps.
Why would you?
No, that's fucking shit. But doing like 5 reps on a front squat feels pretty fucking good. And it's actually a whole body movement. It's nothing to do with just your legs at all either. And I think that's the thing, is that people just train, they smash their legs to pieces on one day and go, "Yeah, I hate training legs." It's like, it's because the way you train it. You train full body, you train your body as a whole. And actually, you would really, you might enjoy reverse lunges, things like that. They're not as difficult. Again, everyone hates fucking rear foot elevated split squats, right? So that they're a given. But everything else, I think people don't like it because, again, trap bar deadlifts, that's a great feeling of being strong. It's not like your legs; it's a whole fucking body. Yeah. But people associate legs with leg press, leg extension, loads and loads of walking lunges, and that feeling in your legs of like, I can't walk. It's like, that's not leg training. That's you being a dick in the gym. Like,
That's just fatiguing yourself so you can't train it optimally again that week, right? Really, right.
That's it.
Good job. I'm going to make more gains than you because I'm going to train half and then half again, and then maybe a little bit more.
Exactly.
Shockingly. But yeah, it's just a take for females. Like, don't beat yourself up. Like, you're meant to be like you hold less muscle mass than us from body composition stand still. It's absolutely fine. Like, it's insane. So literally 40 to 60% weaker on the upper body, 25 to 30% weaker on the lower body. But guess what? You can fucking hit thrust more than most dudes I know. So absolutely fine. How your hips are built. On a nutritional point of view, would you say that's similar?
Yeah, it's females get a really hard end of the deal because I've talked about this before with clients, is like females just don't need as much food. And yet when you go out to a restaurant and order food, and the guy, or you order out with your fella or whatever, you both can order the same size portion. And for the bloke, it can fit within his calories for the day. And for the female, it's like takes him 1,000 calories over. And it's really hard. It's really hard for females to come to terms with that. And also, again, like we talked about before, like the percentage of calories you can drop that put you in a deficit is smaller. So we talk about calorie deficits. You say everyone talks about this 500 calorie a day rule to hopefully help you lose half a kilo, right? Well, for females, if you're a 70 kilo female and you need 1,500 calories to just maintain, right, and you don't really move a huge amount, you can't drop 500 calories. It's too difficult. It's a third of your calories. It's like a bloke who can eat 3,000, drop into 2,000. They'd find that a struggle. Yeah. It's the same numbers, and it's the same. You see it in the same thing. It's like you're saying there about the upper body strength. It's probably a similar amount, about 40% less for females in terms of calories on a daily basis. If you were to match them on activity level and all that sort of stuff, even weight to a certain degree. It's really, they get the, like I said, the hard end of the deal. And I think females are their bodies are much better as well at being more efficient with the calories. And I think it comes from evolutionary standpoint with childbearing and all that sort of stuff. They want to conserve their energy so that they can reproduce. And I think there's an element of that involved. Whereas guys, you start dropping a guy's calories, his body doesn't start slowing down for ages. Like, whereas females, you drop their calories and sometimes within 2-3 weeks, you can see weight loss sort of start to stall a little bit. Fat loss doesn't always stall, but it stalls a little bit. And it's that expectation where, again, a guy can lose 10 kilos in 6 weeks quite comfortably and not really feel too bad. Might be a bit hungry and all that sort of stuff. Whereas a female just can't lose that amount in that time space because, again, the amount of deficit they need to be in to see that weight loss is too hard to sustain. And this is where percentages is really useful, as you just described, because you need to compare it to as a percentage where your calories are at and all that sort of stuff. So females can't lose weight. I say can't, that's not true. They find it more difficult to lose weight at the same rate that blokes do because of the calories, because of the percentage of calories that they're going to drop by and all that sort of stuff. So it's for females, this whole like half a kilo a week idea is actually probably a little bit too high. It's probably nearer 0.2, 0.3 kilos a week, maybe a little bit more optimal for them. Because it's hard to maintain that percentage dip. Like I said, 1,500 to 1,000 is horrible compared to a bloke at 3,000 dropping to 2,500. It's fucking no different. You'll find that easy. Yeah. But yeah, the absolute numbers you're going to lose in terms of body fat will probably be pretty similar. But the female's going to find it loads harder to stick to that. So again, it's one of the hardest things I think of coaching for me is having to temper the expectations of females. Is because they want to see weight loss real quick. Blokes actually don't care as much about weight loss. They don't actually care as much. They just want to see fat loss. They want to see their physique change. Females are obsessed with their weight, but won't look at the mirror and won't see themselves changing. They're obsessed with losing half a kilo a week. And it's like, it's just not going to happen for you. Unfortunately, because of the calories that your body needs to survive is a lot lower than a guy's. But shit. Sorry, ladies, you do get a hard end. But I say this all the time. If you went to a restaurant and they served ladies' portions and it was smaller, you'd be fucking fuming. So, it's one of those where, but it's true. Like, if you go out for let's say you go out for a nice meal. I always say to most of my clients, you go out for a really nice meal, a nice restaurant, you have a main course and you have a dessert and you have a couple of drinks. You're looking at 1,500 calories, 1,500 calories. You need to allot for that meal to just enjoy it, not stress. Well, for a guy, that can be 50% of his day. Whereas for a female, that's the whole day. Yeah. That's the difference. That's why it's harder. And it's not as easy. Again, if you've got a partner guys, if you've got a partner who's, you know, a female and is looking to lose weight, it's easy for you to go out and eat and lose weight, but think about them and think about their needs and making it hard. You're making it harder for them. Yes, it's easy for you to fit it in, but it's not for them. And I think that's where with weight loss, women, like say, struggle because, you know, they can go out and have 2 drinks and it's 50% of their daily calories. 2 cocktails, 700 calories. For some females, that's 50% of their calories in a day. For a bloke, that just takes him out of a deficit for that day. He doesn't really care. And doesn't get talked about.
It's been talked about now, mate.
There you go. Maybe I should do a video on that. Maybe I'll do some content.
Content on that. Males versus females.
Yeah, why it's harder for females to lose weight. They'll love that, won't they? They'll love when I say that. They'll love that. I'm going to write that down.
We'll do why it's harder for females to get stronger. Because the weights are literally harder. It's bigger percentages at a time. Yeah. So it's kind of just also males, step up your fucking game. You're not that strong.
Yeah.
Relatively, females, I'm going to guess, who goes to the gym, certainly from my clients, a lot stronger than my males. So yeah, unfortunately. All right, mate. Any other business?
Not from me, no. Hopefully we're playing our last game of golf this Sunday before I leave, mate. And then after that, it's going to be all sun in Dubai for golf after that, isn't it? Easy.
Basically, yeah. Unless you decide to pop back every now and again, we'll treat you to a nice rainy day.
Well, that's it. I'll have to make sure I bring my clubs every time, won't I?
That's a good point as well. I'll have to have rental clubs if I come out to Dubai, most likely.
I think you can just take them on as your luggage, probably.
I can take them on, but I think it's separate. I'll have to see. We'll see. Anyway, thanks for listening, guys. Go sign up on fitr if you haven't already. If you're listening this after Friday, bad luck. You can pay me some money anyway. There you go. All right, thanks for listening, guys, and we'll catch you next week.
See you later.